All right, never mind. I was trying to burn call or something. I was trying to make Oh shoot, what's going on, everybody? No cooldown, episode 17. We are here for another week, another round of news, entertainment, all types of goodness, brought to you by two lovely gentlemen that you're seeing on your screen and hearing right now through your headphones or whatever audio devices you are using. Another week, I'm your host with the most, that man Tripp. You know, we're here, we're chilling, we're doing our thing, and with me, of course, as always, is my trusty partner in crime, the podcast partner in crime. You know, what I'm saying, tag team in the shit shack and Kobe style. One easy, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty well. Cannot complain.
Yeah, man. It's been a chill week, man. It's a lot of shit dropping, bro. Like, oh my, yeah. No, we was talking about it before we started recording and stuff. But yeah, Gundam Evolution. That shit is
Yes.
actually looking really fun.
Yes. I actually was playing that before the podcast even started. I was like sitting there like, damn, how much time do I got left? Like I was like, I think it was like, I got off at like 1:50 and I was like, do I have enough time for another game? I don't know, because that queue time is a little like I was like calculating. I'm jumping literally right after this. I'm jumping back into it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Hey, it's lit, man. I can't even lie right now. I can't wait because I got a code. I'm ready to play, and I'm itching. I'm itching because this whole work week is done. I closed my work laptop and I almost threw it out the window out of like straight like force of habit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a reflex. But we trying to get on that, man. There's too much. There's too much good stuff happening this weekend, and of course I gotta promo it out there, man. 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts. The event is coming in 2 days. We might see some crazy shit. You might see me flip shit on the timeline, and if you do, mind your business. All right, mind your business. It's an exciting time right now.
What day is it? What day is the 20th?
It's gonna be Sunday, so we're gonna have like new stuff across the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know exactly what streaming like thing. I don't know if they're gonna be streaming it at all, but I know news updates and stuff are gonna be flying across the whole timeline and shit. So I'm gonna be keep my eyes are glued everywhere. Like I'm wearing this jacket all day Sunday. I hope you know. Like it's automatic. This shit ain't coming off, but it is. That is what it is. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going down. News wasn't as abundant this week, but we scrounged together a couple of topics to talk about just to get a quick little episode in. So yeah, man, let's jump into the warm up real quick. Let's get the knees ready. So first and foremost, it is official. With the release of the Tales from the Animus bundle, Assassin's Creed is now in Fortnite with Ezio Auditore de Firenze and Ivor Verensdottir skins, emotes, Viking gliders, and a full gamut of cosmetic updates. Yes, I did want to say Ezio like that. If you hate it, whatever. Fuck. I just want to say it like that, dog. But yeah, this is like the latest in like such a slew of so many partnerships and content updates for the Fortnite brand. And it's like every week now, there's been a new like major brand that just like hops into the Fortnite trend, and it's crazy to see, man. What you think about this?
It's pretty insane. I'm not like shocked because Fortnite, if there's one thing Fortnite is about, it's about getting these collabs, it's about getting these skins. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's interesting to see the Ezio skins in the game, especially since like you can die from fall damage. I think it would have been cool if they would have added like little haystacks or something that you could like, or maybe if like you fall from a height, you fall into like a trash can, like it won't do fall damage to you. I think that would be cute. I think a lot of Assassin's Creed fans are gonna be happy about this. I enjoy it, and especially with the rise of players due to no build mode, I can only imagine how well this collab is gonna do for them. And
Facts.
depending on how well the collab does, that only means more collabs, because if if you find out that like, oh, Fortnite, the Assassin's Creed game skins sold for X amount of money or whatever, like the collabs are only going to keep coming in.
That's a fact. And I'm like, can we solidly say that like Fortnite is number one when it comes to like cosmetic work, collaborations, and all that stuff in the gaming space, like gaming history? Is it time for that conversation?
It's so cosmetics in gaming, I feel like aren't something that it hasn't even been around for as long as we want to say. Like it hasn't, maybe because I can't even think back at a time where cosmetics were this important, you know? Like even when I was in like Borderlands 2 was like the first time I ever saw like somebody selling a pack of skins or whatever.
Yeah. Like actually, yeah, an actual marketplace for them. I
Yeah.
don't remember it being like crazy. I know, of course, you get the armor sets and whatnot, like the Hayabusa armor from Halo and whatnot, but those weren't cosmetic based. I'm talking about like the era of, again, these storefronts and actual like skin packs that you can either purchase or unlock, and that's the option for it. I feel like that's like what 20, yeah, maybe like 2012, 2013 range.
Yeah, for sure. Like it definitely was like the one game I could think of was like maybe Little Big Planet was like the first time I saw like in a store like, hey, here's a costume for
true.
Ratchet and Clank or whatever. It is $1 or whatever.
That's true.
And we've come such a long way from there. I don't know if it's necessarily in the right direction or not, but Fortnite is definitely up there. I used to think when I was a big fan of Overwatch, I thought Overwatch had the best skins, but Fortnite has the collabs, even League of Legends, which I thought was like now, which like a few months ago I thought was better than Overwatch because they did a lot with their skins. They're not touching Fortnite just in the simple fact because you'll have a skin in like League of Legends where it'll be like Arachnid Man, and it's like somebody that looks a lot like Spider-Man but isn't actually Spider-Man, but they will actually put Spider-Man in Fortnite. And that's the difference, is that like the only other game that I could think of that has like fully licensed people is like the Lego games, but those aren't like licensed skins. Those are just actual characters. They're like playable
games tailored to it. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, for me, I gotta kind of tip my hat off, bro. Like, this is a salute to Fortnite, bro. Like, it's rare to get that consistent influx of like clout and just collaboration between different companies in gaming. You like, of course, that was a rare ass sight to see. How many people in a game that has nothing to do with anybody, like again, like PlayStation titles and whatsoever in Fortnite, is a marvel in and of itself, because they keep to their own. They do their own thing on that side. You know what I'm saying? Xbox folks, they usually do that stuff on this side. You know, like it would be a super rap if they got Nintendo, but you know, I don't know how far they willing to go with that. But listen, anything's on the table at this point. I'm not ruling nothing out, because Fortnite has shown time and time again that they can pull these big deals and they can pull these big brands, and that only brings more eyes to, one, Fortnite, two, gaming in general, and three, the other franchise that are involved with these deals. So I mean, it's a win for everybody. I'm sure these deals are favorable for the people. So I have no doubt that it's actually a pretty stellar just, you know, experience for everybody around. Like, damn, Fortnite, I gotta salute y'all for that.
Yeah,
salute y'all.
If you were to go back in time to like 2006, 2007 and be like, hey, there's gonna be a game where you're playing as Ryu and I'm playing as Kratos and my friend is gonna be playing as Master Chief, we're all gonna be in the same game and we're gonna be shooting guns together, nobody would have believed you. And here we are in a like it's crazy. And hopefully like these collabs will show companies like, yo, hey, we can all work together. Because I think like imagine if like all the Fortnite characters or all the collabs, imagine if Fortnite was a fighting game, like we would all be losing our minds right now. Like, whoa, I'm playing as like Kratos, or they just added Ezio into this. Like it's crazy.
Facts. Too much, bro. Too much, man. Like, I might have to get a skin, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say that I've spent money on the game already, but my bank account did get lower when I started playing the game.
Wow, Fortnite actually you know what was the last time I spent money on a cosmetic? You don't want to know. You honestly don't. I feel like the last time I did spend money on a cosmetic was Fortnite, like years ago. That might actually be the last time, but
yeah, buying like
if they tempted me like this, and I know me, I don't buy cosmetics or any extra stuff for nothing unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah,
like they doing something right. They doing something right
for sure.
So yeah, shout out Fortnite, shout out Assassin's Creed. On to the next one. You know what I'm saying? We kind of staying in the Ubisoft lane a little bit. We now have official confirmation that Ubisoft is making its way into the mobile shooter space with Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege Mobile. Now, alpha testing is available now with the sign-up sheet, but this is yet another major series hopping into the mobile realm, trying to get some of that market share. So, I mean, the smaller question is, Rainbow Six Siege Mobile, are you looking out for it?
No. Not even a little bit.
I'm not either. But the larger question is, what do you see the mobile space being for these big IPs in the next couple of years? Because again, this is the big move. Another one, COD already made the jump. Apex is making the jump. PUBG already made the jump. There's so much, you know, investment going into these mobile markets now, even more than ever. Again, we knew the mobile market's always been popping. It's been the majority of, you know, gaming sales over the past few years. And it's only expanding further. So I mean, like, where do we go from here?
Yeah, it's kind of insane. I remember the first game I played on mobile. The first shooter I played on mobile was actually Fortnite. When they first released it, I was like, this is kind of insane. That and it was funny. Like, it wasn't necessarily like me and my boys weren't like, yo, you guys squatting up, but like it was very interesting because we would be at like lunch. It was when I was in college. We would like be eating lunch, and it's like, yo, I got like an hour before my next class. Yo, you guys trying to play some Fortnite? And we would play it. And it was just funny because it was stupid because we all sucked because we were playing on mobile.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, I dropped it after a while because I like having my phone. You know, I like having phone battery.
Yeah, like not 1,000 degrees every time you pick it up.
Exactly. Like I don't want to cook an egg on the back of my phone. But I remember playing that and being like, oh, this is so stupid. Nobody's going to play it. And then I remember maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, me and my girlfriend played Fortnite all the time back then. And I remember her being like, you care if my brothers join? And I was like, no, sure, we can play. We can squad up. So her brother joined on the PS3 and then her little brother joined on his phone. And I was like, whoa, wait, he's playing on his phone? Mind you, it wasn't. And it's, again, the thing about Fortnite that I really liked was that like to this day, it's not about being good. It's more about just playing with people and having no real restrictions. And it was hilarious, all 4 of us playing, and then like hearing her little brother on her other brother's mic because he's playing on his phone, so he can't communicate with us, and he being like, yo, you guys left me, and you're just seeing him like walk around so slow and so stiff, but he was able to play with us, and I was like, this is kind of insane. The one phone game I dropped, it's not even a phone game, it's just a game, but I played it a lot on my phone, was like Hearthstone. That was the first time where I saw like mobile gaming as like, whoa, this is like a whole thing. I put money into Hearthstone back in my day. I don't not proud of it, but that was like where I saw like mobile is like, well, this is like a really huge market. And when you see how many people in other countries only have phone and only game on phones, like even if you go into Facebook right now, some of the biggest games on their streaming service are all mobile games. And if mind you, it's usually one thing that I hate though, if you are a mobile gamer, you're playing Call of Duty mobile, you're playing any mobile game, and I see a keyboard and mouse in your hand, you are disgusting. I saw that so many when PUBG went free on mobile. Let me tell you how I used to stream on Facebook, and I would see people playing PUBG with a keyboard and mouse, and they'd be like, "Oh, we just got our 30th win in the day," and it's like, yes, you did. You're on a computer playing on a like, what is wrong with you?
Hey, yo, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I was playing COD Mobile, right? There was a stretch of time where I was playing COD Mobile, and no. Listen.
Go ahead.
I didn't plug in my controller, but I was trying to find a way to plug in my controller because the software wasn't working. I had to use some computer program or it was like Dolphin or whatever, and like put it on my computer to play and emulate like mobile games. I couldn't figure it out, so I was just stuck with the hands. Now, albeit I was still whooping people's asses continuously. And it was the ultimate confidence booster. So shout out to COD Mobile. But I could not find a way to plug in my controller, and it was a sad day. I was like, bro, that I wish I could do it, man. I would have won 100-0. I would have won 100-0 like 5 games straight.
And I didn't even I never really even had a problem with it. It was more so like when I would see streamers doing it, and they're like, "Yo, guys, we just won another game. We're like the best." I'm like, no, we are not the best people because I don't see a tablet on your hands.
The facts. You're playing a 6-year-old on a field trip right now. Nigga, like, what do you mean?
Like get out of here.
Yeah, that is wild. But I will say, shout outs to the mobile gaming community because it's always a place for me to come in and destroy random people, you know what I'm saying, across the internet and get the ultimate confidence boost for myself when these tryhards and stuff on these other consoles and PCs doing their thing, sweating up a storm. And I just want to play games. I just want to live and have fun. So why not go to mobile sometimes, man? I will say this though, the mobile market is going to be so ridiculously huge. It's outpacing us, but we don't. I think a lot of people, of course, because we're fixated on the console and PCs, the high end graphical stuff, and off the bounds of accessibility, and again, mobile being everywhere because it's mobile, it's taking off. It's going to start lapping every other section of the gaming industry, and it's going to be a fast approach.
It's already the biggest crazy demographic. It's already even back when Candy Crush was like rise when it was in its popular that easily.
That's a fact.
And it's funny because like you'll have people who go from mobile to you'll have that like migration because there's some people who will play on mobile and they're like, I really enjoy this. I want to play this in a more comfortable setting. I don't want to be playing on my phone the whole time, or I want to play it on my big screen. And it brings more people into the gaming culture, making gaming more mainstream. When you make it more accessible, more people are interested in it. Because there's so even I think Among Us was a huge wave of people getting into gaming, especially during the pandemic. Is like they played Among Us on their phone. They were playing with their friends, and they're like, "How are you guys talking to each other?" It's like, "Oh, we're on Discord." "Oh, what's Discord?" "It's on a computer." So then they go and download Among Us on their computer, and they're like, "Oh, what other games can I download on my computer?" And that's just the path to gaming. I don't think mobile gaming is bad at all. Am I gonna play Rainbow Six Siege on my cell phone? No, but there are people who are gonna download it and they're gonna try it, and then they might be like, "Hey, I want to play Rainbow Six Siege how normal people or like how it's usually played," and they're gonna plug in a. Hopefully, they're playing on console. I mean, no, I was gonna say, hopefully they're playing on console, but Rainbow Six is toxic no matter where you play it. But like, you know, it'll lead you into other stuff, and I think it's gonna be great for the I guess the community. More because more players equals more money equals better games.
Facts. That's a fact. And yeah, it's just wild. I remember like I forgot what phone it was. It was a little like half like PlayStation phone, like a half PlayStation PS like Vita looking phone.
Are you talking about the PlayStation Go?
Phone. Possibly.
I think there was a PlayStation Go.
There was some type of phone. It was like some phone hybrid. And I remember I had it for like a good while because I was like, yo, listen, I just want this phone for the rest of eternity. Listen, I'll do whatever I need, you know what I'm saying, to get this phone in. And I got the phone in. And I remember playing that, like some games like Asphalt 6 or 7 or something like that, like way back when. And going from those days to seeing like how games were just starting to come out and like, you know, really like develop on the mobile side to now you seeing PUBG, all these, you know what I'm saying, open world battle royales and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
it's come a long way. And it's only accelerating at this point, man. So, I mean, shout out mobile. Honestly, it's going to be something to where people who are, you know, again, predominantly console and PC gamers, you might want to take a second look at some mobile games, you know, in the coming moment, you know, in the coming years and months and stuff like that. Like, there might be some stuff hidden on there that we might not be privy to. So, I would say keep a side eye on mobile.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. All right. On to the last topic of the warm up, man. Elgato. When will you stop dropping tech on us, man? My wallet can only take so much. Anyways, so Elgato this week dropped some more tech on our head tops with the announcement of the HD60X capture card earlier this week. Now, with 4K 60 HDR, the HDR10 pass-through, variable refresh rate capabilities, and more, this might be another W for the content tech brand. How are you feeling about the latest from Elgato?
I can't wait to see some reviews on it. So my issue, I love Elgato. I've never had an issue with an Elgato product itself, but I have had issues with Elgato software. And I haven't checked it since I switched over, because it's always like I'll have problems with like this software, but then I'll download their other software and it works way better. But everything that they drop is kind of like they have their ear to the ground. They know what people are asking for. They know what people like to do, or they know what workarounds or like, for example, like the foot pedal that dropped. It's always they know what people are complaining about, and then they find what people are using as a workaround, and they're like, what if we took the workaround and we made it like a staple? Like, what if we took what they're doing to help this problem and fix that problem?
Make a streamlined product.
It's crazy. I already own a capture card though. I don't think that's really gonna change. Personally, I understand why they got the 4K type stuff, and I get all that, but like 1080 for me is good enough. Like, I'm not ready for 4K yet. I don't got the internet speed to be uploading stuff in 4K. But I can't wait to see this. I would love to try it out. If I get a whatchamacall, they send me a nice little package, I'll definitely open it up and see what it's about. You know, send it through.
A little airdrop, you know what I'm saying, from the Fulton and whatnot. Drop the balloon on me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be nice. It would be nice. But as of right now, I there's so many other Elgato, like even this green screen is an Elgato product. I have so many Elgato products and so many in the shopping cart that it's like I don't need the 60X right now.
Yeah, I feel that. For me, I just want to see the comparative performance next to an internal capture card.
Oh yeah,
that's where my next step was. Like, my next few upgrades for my rig and everything is probably going to be CPU, big upgrade, and then more hard drive, next like medium upgrade, and then the capture card. If I can get it internally, and if the difference is negligible and this is cheaper, I'll go with this. But if there's a clear definitive like difference in performance, like the 4K 60 internal still pretty good, compared to to this new shit, I'll be more like, okay, cool, I'll go get the internal then. That's fine. Like, there's still a few things that are in the way for me to say, oh yeah, I need to drop everything and buy this. Like, I still need to get a Stream Deck. I need to get a Stream Deck XL, and that's gonna take a little bit of time for me to like fully set out, because I don't need it right now. I haven't revamped certain things on my channel yet. So it's kind of down the pecking order. So I just, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I just want to see what the comparative benchmarks are between this, the 4K 60 or the regular 60s, and yeah, just the internal stuff. So if there's any good definable difference, something I'm gonna look into. But yeah, man, Elgato, like their product team, their product and marketing team, like they be keeping real like Sacagawea type vibes, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am very, very like I'm always impressed by them because of just their ability to again be real close and I think it's because of the fact that other brands are so far away. The fact that they're relatively close makes it that much easier to be like, oh yeah, good job, y'all. Y'all did good. Cause they're right here. They just like, oh yeah, y'all want that shit? Cool.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
they're
So,
listening to the people.
it's interesting, but I think it could be actually pretty viable. But I just want to see the benchmarks when the reviews drop.
Yes, that's really important because I remember I had an external, and recently, not recently, but like I want to say like a year ago, I was like, I can't do this external thing anymore. Like I just can't. Not I just. It was a good product if you're doing YouTube. It's phenomenal. It works. It does exactly what you needed to do. All you need to do is learn how to sync audio to video, and you're literally you're fine. But when you're live streaming, it messed it up because it created a delay that I didn't like. And then as a live streamer, like I don't mind doing a delay if I'm doing Apex or something, or if there's a reason for the delay. But when you're a small streamer like me, or even when I was using it heavily, it sucked when I would have people come in and they think that I'm ignoring them. And it's like, no, I'm not ignoring you, dude. There's just a delay. Like even now with YouTube, I'm still having issues with like, I think that my YouTube, I don't know if it's the internet speed or if it's just like the settings, but my YouTube, there's like a 10-second delay that I can't even control. Like that's not something I can do anything about. And I'm not a big fan of it, but it's becoming about working around. But there's always a workaround. You can work with it. So if your only option is an external, it's gonna work, and it does wonders. You just gotta learn how to sync up the camera to the audio a little bit. But if you don't know how to do that as a content creator, it's a lesson you're gonna have to learn because it's gonna happen. It taught me a valuable lesson, and I got my money's worth out of it. I'm not upset with my purchase at all. So I would love to see what this external does I would love to see how this external compares to the previous one.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're gonna figure it out, man. Just give me enough time to like talk to my wallet and see what we can do about this type of stuff because this is like I gotta sit down and talk to my cards. Like, bro, this is serious. Like, I gotta have an intervention with half of them. So we'll see what's going on down the road. But yeah, that's the warm up. That's some of these warm up topics. Let's get into some of the main stories of the week. Of course, across this past week, we've had a fairly major update on the future of gaming, and namely game development as Epic presented their keynote event, The State of Unreal for Unreal Engine 5, of course. Now, the presentation detailed an array of improvements and fixes from UE4 and emphasized the level of ease and quick workflows, and also dropped a couple of announcements, most notably the announcement from Crystal Dynamics that another Tomb Raider is in the works off of UE5. Now, I know we're not the most, that we're not technical. This is not a dev podcast. It's not none of that crazy stuff. But they did showcase a lot of new, new innovations in the gaming space. So I wanted to at least get your 2 cents on this, 2 cents on some of the announcements that we saw. What's going on with Unreal, man?
It's crazy that I see like they announced Unreal 5 and then I see like fat kid deals on Twitter dropping like, oh, this graphics card is now $700. Like they keep posting deals about graphics card, and I'm just like, what are y'all trying to tell me, man? Like what do they know? But it's cool. But as a broke boy, I'm always thinking like, damn, am I gonna have to upgrade soon? Like, is this gonna make a difference for me? I'm playing games of this year, and I'm already having to put them on like medium settings, and I'm like, damn, it's not. This John is like really pretty, but like the pictures that they drop were like stunning. I wonder what it means for games that are in development now. I wonder when we'll see will it be a full transition over. I know that CD Projekt Red announced that they were making another Witcher game, and they say that it was going to be on Unreal. I don't know if it's going to be on Unreal 4 or if it's just going to be on Unreal 5. That's like a question. Is like, all these people that are in development, are they, or even like, do the people who are in development right now, did they know about Unreal 5 when they started making their games?
No, apparently they did not. So I think as of that conference and as of that update, it's now available to all developers. And then a big sticking point actually in the presentation that I went through they were like, yo, you can easily transfer the projects that you're working on now and integrate them into UE5. So if you're still working on UE4, cool. But now they were very, very intentional, and they emphasize the fact that you can have an ease of transfer for all your assets and stuff into UE5. So I'm like, that is really, really good for the people who are, again, in the middle, in between softwares and in between programs, trying to make shit work on one end. So your whole process ain't a bender. You got to take some shit out and redo some shit over there. I like that. So they were they kept the developers in mind with that change. So that's what I saw.
Yeah, it's hopefully, fingers crossed, they say it's as easy as they say it is, because I cannot imagine. I don't understand how this works, but moving an entire project from one engine to the next, I cannot imagine it's just gonna be like, oh, import. All right, guys, let's wait for the files to import. We'll be back in like 3 hours, and then we'll keep knocking some stuff out.
I'm not gonna lie, there was a certain instance where he just showed an option. He was like, oh yeah, like for certain assets that you already have loaded up in UE, like in UE or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, it was just like a couple buttons and clicks. Like he showed like a little pop-up menu and stuff to transfer stuff over. I'm like, that looked easier than I think it should have been.
Yeah,
I am not sure, but it is interesting to see, honestly, from like kind of like the bird's eye view, and like, again, from an outsider's perspective, of the development tools, like seeing I'm forgetting what some of the technology, it was like luminosity or lumen or something like that, like the lighting technology, and how easy it was to kind of plug different stuff in. There was actually a demo for, like, they had like a, I guess, a base shooter. Like they basically said they have like a couple programs and a couple games that you can actually just build off of the base. So they came with this third person shooter game. It looked really bare bones and stuff like that, but they were just showing off some of the tech and how, like, okay, he was just in this whole menu where it's like an open lobby, an open forum. He paused the game. He went back into developer mode, and he's just like, oh yeah, cool. What if we change the color of the floor here? Boom. And he just he dropped it one time, and the whole color of the floor changed, like the light reflections and all everything. He changed the angle of the light, so the light was under the map, so it was nighttime. And it just completely changed. Like the changes were that quick and fluid. I'm like, yo, if we got into this point and level of capability, like, that's insane to see. And seeing and how it's going to be applied in all these different types of environments and stuff is honestly crazy.
It's insane.
It looks really, really, really cool, honestly. But this is my question. Now, this kind of ties to Unreal and what the development process is. Is it time to, again, close down the shop on the last gen? Is it time to really start locking it down on the last generation of games for the development future of video games? Like, what do you think about that?
PS5 came out in 2020, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It's 2022. I would say by 2024 we should be phased out of it. I think by 2023 there shouldn't even really be like an emphasis for PS4, and it's a shitty thing to say, because I know that there's a lot of people who still haven't been able to get PS5s or can't even afford PS5s. I get it. I promise you, I understand. But I also can say without a shadow of a doubt that in 4 years, if Unreal Engine 5 just dropped, in 4 years, you don't want those games that they're gonna be making for the PS4. They're just not going to be good. It's going to be bare bones.
I'm about to say, unless you want arson in your house.
Yeah, like the PS5 was struggling running Rainbow Six. I mean, the PS4 was struggling running Rainbow Six when I had it. So like, I can only imagine what it's going to look like when the next any shooter drops. It's going to be it's crazy. The PS4, I love it to death. Great system, but I think it might be time to start phasing it out. Like, even now, we even have like Ratchet and Clank wasn't backwards compatible. It's only on PS5. Same thing with well, no, not with Miles Morales. Miles Morales is also on the PS4. Like
PS4, but yeah.
Like that, they had
see that trend.
Yeah, you're like, Miles was like, I think the last time they were like, yo, triple like exclusive focus on the PS4. I don't think the new Horizon's on PS4 now. So like, I think that what's gonna happen is, this year, we're still going to see some overlap with like Ubisoft and like third-party people who have been working on games already. 2023, we're going to still see some indies on PS4. But by 2024, I feel like the PS4 is going to be kind of on its way out. Like, they might drop indies for stuff because indies can run easily on, like, if it can run on a Switch, it can run on a PS4. That's a no-brainer. But times move on, really. And that's just that's the plight of the console gamer. Like that's just what a lot of people will make fun of PCs, like, oh, you paid $2,000 to play the same game I paid $500 to play on. And it's like, that's true, but I don't gotta pay 2K every 10 years or whatever. Like I can upgrade as I go, whatever. Like that's the plight of, unfortunately, that's the plight of PlayStation, is that like your console eventually will become irrelevant because they sell hardware. They're trying to sell more hardware.
Yeah, man. It's, for me, I think it's high time. Honestly, I think it needs to be early in 2024. Like if we can start really ramping up the phase out for some of these games by next year. Now, listen.
Let them know. Yo, brokies, you're fucking it up. We're trying to play games over here.
Damn, bro. Hey, man, I ain't even mean to say it like that, bro. He said that, not me. He said it. Listen, man, I'm just saying this. There is a lot of considerations that go into, again, the development process. And with last gen still kind of being on the bandwagon on the end of that, consideration set, that somehow puts people in some predicaments, a la Cyberpunk. People wouldn't even want to look at that game because of the last gen, requirements. On next gen, it was like, okay, PC, it was fine, but besides like a few bugs and glitches, they got it out. Like console, PS5, Xbox One, like Series X, it didn't even come out yet. So like the people really couldn't consider it, but I'm pretty sure it was fine when it dropped. Last gen, it must be so hard for them to, again, work on it in its purest form on PCs and stuff like that, and then backtrack it to a lower form. It's like what's the name? Demastering games, but they don't work at all.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the demasters like Bloodborne and stuff like that. But what if they don't work at all? Like it just doesn't translate. That must be so time consuming for them that it's hard, man. Those transition periods in between console generations and stuff must be the toughest times for developers, because they have to, again, worry about making their game as best and best as possible in all departments, fidelity, gameplay, all the type of smoothness and stuff within new technology, and focusing for the future, and also have to, again, consider all their past with like, how do we scale this down to certain things. And some people have done it well. Like look at how, like, again, Horizon, I want to say Horizon was on PS4.
The new one?
The new one. Yeah, the new one. I believe it is on PS4. And people were like, yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, actually, it looks really good, because they had time to consider that stuff. But for people with bigger, like wider, I guess, audience sets, multi-platforms or whatnot, there's a lot more stuff that they have to get involved with to actually put out a really good product all around. And that's where people get tripped up. And again, for the sake of pushing games to be the best they can be on all fronts, I'm like, we got to start working to phase it out. Now, this also means that we're dependent on, a set of materials for consoles to be shipped out more often. Again, the chip shortage is still a thing. Yeah. So we're still getting impacted by that. So once that ramps back up, I would say it's contingent with that. If the chip shortage like, again, subsides a little bit, and that means consoles can get pushed out, that's that same time frame that we need to follow with the end of, major, like, I guess, major game drops and previous console support. Yeah, like last gen console support. That's what we need to kind of line it up with, because as soon as that's good, you can ship more units out. We need to be focused on the next stuff, man. Because listen, there's only so much these jet planes is gonna use, bro, before they blow up in their face, bro. Yeah, like, there's only so much more jet plane usage that's left in the PS4 before it just ticks out. You know what I mean? And
it's had a good run.
It's had a fantastic run, but again, now it's time to keep it pushing forward, man. The future's now, old man. The future's now. That's my two pieces on it. But yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's still alive.
Happy for them. This is the best time for a Tomb Raider game. Uncharted is currently not making any more games. You got a lane. Run. You gotta run.
A lane that y'all started. So I mean, like, well, technically y'all started, but you know what I'm saying? At least in the game space y'all started. But yeah, like, come on, man. Like, we're gonna say that for another day. But yeah, man, that's enough for Unreal. Shout out to them. I don't got nothing to do with development myself, but shout out to the game developers out there. You guys are fantastic.
For sure.
What I'm saying? Man, one day I'm gonna be a writing contributor for that shit. I'm gonna write one-liners in the story. I'm gonna make sure there's one-liners in there and just contribute to that part.
Right, for one character, just one character.
Just one. All right, in some smaller news, this week we saw the release of the Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition, which is an HD update for the original JRPG game across across coming from last-gen consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, the Switch, and Steam. Thoughts on this? Again, we just got off this last the console conversation. Why is it only on last gen and not on PS5, Xbox Series X?
I do not know, but this is definitely a game that I literally think they could just copy and paste it and be like copy or like just take the file and name it like .ps5 and then send it to Sony like, yo, put this on the PS5, because it's, again, if it's on Switch, it can run on everything, really. Chrono Cross is iconic. Well, Chrono Trigger is literally iconic, probably one of the best RPGs of our time. Probably one of the best RPGs, period. It dealt with time travel in a way that is phenomenal. Till this day, I beat myself up for not beating it, but I also just don't have the time to beat it. It's so big. Or beating it with like all like the things like 13 endings or something crazy like that. The reason I actually haven't played it is because I played it on the DS, which is arguably the best version of it, because it had like animated cutscenes. Like it was super dope. Chrono Cross is very interesting. I love playing old RPGs on the Switch. Anything turn-based, I feel like has a good home on the Switch, just because handheld, any way you play it, you're gonna enjoy it on the Switch. Really excited for this.
That's where a lot of them lie. Like again, you think about like Fire Emblem and like all that.
Fire Emblem, Pokemon.
They rock with it.
All the old Final Fantasies. I bought Final Fantasy 9 on my Switch. I never beat it, but I bought it and it was really, really good. The reason I haven't beat it is because it's an old game. I stopped playing it because I had like tests or whatever. When I came back, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I gotta do here. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened before, and I put too many hours to restart this. Like we're way too deep. We're just gonna pretend like we beat it. But phenomenal game. I love Chrono Trigger, and I wanna try this one out, but I'm broke, baby. This past quarter, I ain't got it. I don't got it. I don't got it for nothing. The next game I'm looking at is in the fall. Like that's the next time I'm buying a game.
I feel that, man. Again, for me, I got nothing much more to say than listen. This is like a part of gaming heritage. So I mean, you should probably give this a look if you haven't tried it. You know what I'm saying? I personally have not played Chrono Cross. I played some of Chrono Trigger, so it's like going back and paying homage and understanding what's going on here. Like I haven't played a turn-based game in a long time, actually. Like it's been a good while since I played a good turn-based game, and I used to like them a lot. I just kind of like dipped off it for some reason, but you know I might actually get back into it with this. I might go buy it on my brother's Switch or on Steam. It's on Steam.
It's on Steam. It's everywhere.
So I might get it there, and then we get it popping like that, man. I honestly, like, again, shout out to Chrono Cross. Yeah, shout out to the whole Chrono series. Some of the best music as well. That shit's fire.
Yeah,
man.
It's
why wasn't it on PS5? And whatever.
I don't know.
For another day, because I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very, very confusing, but it is what it is. Shout out to Chrono Cross. The HD port is available now. That sounds like an advert. Hey, they're not paying me for this though.
They're not paying unless they want to send some copies. If they want to send some copies, I'll put it on the pod.
yeah, not yet though. Not yet. All right. On to the next news story of the day. According to an official report, the bullet time badass known as Max Payne is officially back, as Remedy Entertainment are set to remake the first 2 games in the titular characters video game series. Now, using the same game engine that was developed for Control, the Max Payne remakes are being financed by Rockstar Games as a standalone AAA title under the Remedy banner, with work only being done in the conceptual stages so far. So it's coming. It's on the way. The OG Max Paynes are coming back. How you feel? What's going on?
Oh my God, it's Max Payne 1 was one of the first games I've played on PS2. I remember playing. When I saw this, I didn't even like. It was a weird moment because I never thought I was gonna see Max Payne again. When I beat Max Payne 3, I was like, "Damn, that like this is it. This is just it's like literally was like somebody who was like it's like your grandpa dying. It's like, hey, thank you for everything you've did. Like I don't want to keep you here longer than you need to be because I know they don't want you here. Like, and not even like it was just I just felt like, yo, if this is your time, then this is your time. This is an amazing experience. Like I thought this was a great time. The fact that they're like when I read the article at first, I was like, oh, they're gonna remaster it. I'll buy the remaster because I really love Max Payne. But then I saw like remake. I'm like, no, they're bringing it back. Like I don't believe it. Like I just don't. I don't. I remember to this day, like me and my brother sitting there and being like, "Bro, why can't we just do bullet time all the fucking time, dude? This game is so like it's insane. It was such a cool ass concept, and I'm really mad that Max Payne was the only game that was like, yo, let's put shit in slow motion, and like
at all, the time.
at all, bro. Like it's always it's such a good fucking concept, and it's so like the game and stuff. It's so good. The stories are. I mean, I can't remember the stories too much outside of 3. 3 had a pretty solid story.
Yeah.
But I remember like the concept of 1 phenomenal. It's like, yo, we're going in there, and this dude loses his wife, loses his kid. He's going on revenge. You're running out there with the double Berettas, just jumping all over the place. Like that was insane.
All directions,
when you clear a room out, the last dude goes into a slow-mo death and you can see your bullets whizzing by them. Like, yeah, like you know how many times I've wasted ammo just because it was the last guy and it was just like it was so insane, dude. Oh man, phenomenal game franchise. I'm happy to see it back. It's honestly, and when Max Payne 3 ended, I literally couldn't. I was like, why is nobody doing slow-mo? Like we have the Matrix. Everybody loves the Matrix, but nobody wants to do slow-mo like gunfights. Whatever, bro. I was just like, it is what it is. But I'm so fucking happy that we're seeing this, and I'm happy that it's not like a Max Payne Definitive Edition like they did with the trilogy of Grand Theft Auto. Like I'm happy this is like, hey, we're yeah.
And that shout out to Remedy, because I know Remedy wouldn't want to do their series like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Would take better care than you know, like Rockstar in general. But yeah, I am in full agreement with you on many of these points. Again, gaming owes Max Payne some respects in the sense that they brought bullet time to the forefront. Like I think there was like I did some research on this too. There was actually like a couple of games that like did like a loose concept of it. Like Unreal did like, okay, they had a mode, like a kind of like a hidden mode as a part of the game. It's like, okay, you could kind of go slow mo, but it wasn't really an established thing. And there was like one other game before that in like 98 or 96 or something like that. That was like, okay, you can kind of go like slow mo for a little bit, but it wasn't like an actual like a full-fledged thing. This was the first instance in gaming, to my knowledge, where it all came together. The big bullet time event, you know what I'm saying? The whole system, the moment, like it's a classic, and it brought a whole different concept that is so prevalent. The GTA you play now is based off of the gameplay of Max Payne, specifically Max Payne 3. Let's keep that a double stack. Y'all would not play GTA today if it was not for Max Payne 3. Let's keep that a bundle real quick. So all the people playing RP right now in the streets and all that stuff, you need to go say thank you to Max Payne. You need to go say thank you, because all that gunplay and all that stuff like that, the about to say the movement, that's Max Payne. That's literally Max Payne. So I feel very, very happy that this game is actually coming back in a full-fledged remake format. Like this
style.
Is
oh my god. Or the music.
They might as well go the whole 9 yards and just put Sam Lake's face back on the main character, bro.
Oh my god.
Just put the guy's whole face back on there. Just put his whole character on.
Like that was his face. The whole was just.
Facts, bro.
His wife died and he was like, oh no, baby, please, oh no. Oh my god, the oil painting like bro, that game oh my god, don't even get me started. And like the way he would talk, he would just be like, it's cold. Like it would literally just be like, I'm burning up like a whore in church. Like talking like that.
It was so late 90s, bro. It was late 90s, early 2000s. Just the unnecessary grit. The unnecessary grit.
There was so much grit.
Yeah, man. Max Payne, again, fantastic series, and I'm glad it's getting its just due. I can't wait to hear about this, man, because Remedy been cooking. They got what, 5 projects now in the rotation, 4 or 5. The next Control.
Oh, I gotta play Control.
Alan Wake. They got a shooter with Tencent. They got, and I think this, and then they probably got one more project that they're doing. What's it called? I forgot one. What the hell? I think I forgot one. But yeah, they have a few projects rolling around. I feel like they have enough time and bandwidth to make this happen. And I feel like this is, again, only conceptual right now. So we're going to see probably like a 2027, maybe a 2028 release. Yeah. Probably. That's a decent
I hope so. I hope it's nothing sooner.
Take your time. Take your time.
Please.
Yeah, I don't want it to be anything soon. They said it's only conceptual stages right now. So please take your time with this, because this is a classic, an underrated classic franchise that needs to seriously be handled with care.
Yes.
So yeah, man. Max Payne, shout outs. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. All right, on to the next you know what I'm saying, topic of the day. We don't really have any trailer trove news because it wasn't that big. We got like one treasure, so it's just his own story. So we got word this week that former Playboy billionaire philanthropist slash Iron Man actor Robert Downey Jr. is set to executive produce a Sherlock Holmes TV universe on HBO Max in the near future. Now, as a familiar actor who got to step up into the shoes of the famed detective, Sherlock Holmes reportedly has 2 shows that Robert Downey Jr. will kick off in the SHCU, I think. That's how you call it now. So, I mean, thoughts on this, man? Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes, new shows. What's going on?
I need to go watch those movies because I was told they were good. I watched a little bit of it, but like kind of just like I'm just not a big Sherlock Holmes fan like most people. Like I tried to read the book, and I remember I was reading a Sherlock Holmes book, and he was doing coke, and I was like, what? And like it wasn't even like I was unaware that he just regularly did that, and I was like, this is kind of crazy. But I never finished that book. But I do think that Sherlock Holmes is an interesting character. My girlfriend loves the show Sherlock, like she is a fan of that show.
Bro,
so
it's one of the best shows on TV ever.
I gotta tap in.
Ever.
So
I need to finish. Stop playing with me, man. That I gotta hold. Go ahead. But no, you good. Go ahead, bro.
So like yeah, I'm down for it. Sure, why not? We'll see what happens. I like me a good mystery. Robert Downey Jr. playing the character. Hey, bills got to get paid. People got to eat. So like, good for him. Happy that he's reprising the role. I heard he did a good job in the last one. Yeah. We'll see. I'll go rewatch it.
He's definitely executive producing. I don't know if he's gonna be back in the role. That's also another.
I hope he's not. Like, not because he's a bad
one. Yeah, no. He was actually a good Sherlock.
Yeah,
he was actually a pretty good Sherlock. I liked him in Sherlock.
Yeah.
But the thing for me is, okay, where would you go? Because okay, this is also my gripe. If we gonna leave that Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch alone, if you're gonna do that and just leave it in the wayside and you're gonna start this whole another cinematic universe, you need to bring his ass back for that. You need to stop playing with me, pay him whatever he wants, let him do what he does, let him and old bro come back. What's the name? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. It's Martin something. I'm literally blanking on his name. Dude from Black Panther, the white guy.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about.
Freeman.
Okay.
Martin Freeman. Thank you.
I know specifically who you're talking about. Like I can visualize him right here. I just don't know his name at all.
I'm pretty sure it's Martin Freeman, but I could be wrong. Wait, we got a fact check. Yep, it's Martin Freeman. All right, cool. We're good. Random ass trivia. We're out here. But yeah, Martin Freeman. You need to pay both of them, Sherlock and Watson. Pay them whatever they need, and that's good. Just put them in there. Put them in the show. Now, I don't know what direction that they're going to take, though, because, again, they could just as well do the whole, like, you know, what's the name? 11 from Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Brown, she could be in Enola. You know what I'm saying? She's connecting the universe. Like, there's so many directions that they could actually go with this. I don't know if they're going to, like, restart, reboot, or translate anything from the previous iterations in the past few years to this. It's a really open in the air. But my suggestion is just bring back Benedict Cumberbatch. Bring back Martin Freeman. Bring back that iteration of Sherlock. And you can repackage it however you want. And we good, bro. We good. That's just my personal thing. But you know what? For me, again, I've always enjoyed Sherlock Holmes, films, media in general. So I'd be interested to see this. But the question for me is, does everything need a cinematic universe now?
No.
You see it. Everything is just, please explain why, because I agree with you. I just want the people at home to understand where I'm coming from.
It's because everybody loves the Marvel movies, and I think that's why. It's because I think a lot of companies saw the payoff that Marvel received when they made all these movies and then connected them with Avengers. I don't think we need any kind of universe for a lot of things. Even like Batman. As much as I love Batman, if we didn't get a DC universe or DC cinematic universe, I think it'd be fine because these movies are just good on themselves.
My gosh, you just reminded me too. That Loki could have been a second story, bro. I had a rumor that they were trying to do rewrites for this Flash stuff, and they was going to try and include Pattinson in the DCEU. Now, let me take this off real quick. Let me get right down the barrel. Listen, you niggas at WB, let me talk to you real quick. Your boy just dropped 700 plus million on his own by his lonesome. He ain't have no other major cast member to do nothing. Now, why would you try and hodgepodge so many different moving parts together when y'all can't even get one thing right outside of Batman, outside of this? Right now, the Flash is in like it's in disarray. Your boy harassing people in Hawaii or whatnot. You can't get your man's under control. You might have to get a TV Flash to go in and stand in for him. Like, that's one. Y'all can't even. Directors like, yo, I'm not doing no Superman, bro. Y'all complain too much. I'm not doing no damn Superman. Y'all shit is in disarray, and y'all want to add to the mix by throwing Batman in there? Well, leave Batman alone. Leave Battinson alone. You can put whatever other Batman in there. You know what I'm saying? You could do whatever you want on that side. Leave Battinson. Leave that whole franchise alone. I forgot bro's name that was directing the shit. It just slipped my mind.
That directed what? Batman?
The Batman. Yeah, this one.
What? I don't know if he's. You've said his name to me so many times that I still cannot remember it.
I know. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm blanking. Hold on, nah.
Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves. Captain Tripp.
Thank you, Matt Reeves. Thank you.
Captain Tripp came through.
Appreciate you, man. My namesake. That's love, bro. Matt Reeves, please do whatever you can to tell these studio heads, back the fuck up. This is a slippery slope, and you don't want Battinson doing nah, bro. Listen, you cooking with gas right now. You cooking with straight gasoline. Don't put a fine line. Tell them, do not cross this line. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. We've seen how this goes with connected universes that aren't properly set up. One of the only good ones took about a decade to fully come to fruition. Like, come on now. Let's be real about this. And I think that's also the problem. Now, here's my thing. I'm not mad at connected universes. I'm actually not mad at them at all in any other format. But again, because of Marvel and the fact that we just saw, or many studios probably saw the fruits of the labor instead of the actual entire process of them setting it up. They're like, okay, that one, they're making movies, blah, 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 blah. Then they saw Avengers makes big money, and they're like, oh, we just need team up movies now. We just need to set all this up consistently. And then they're just trying to rush all this different stuff there instead of actually taking the time to carefully plant a narrative around these characters and build them up on their own, and then weave them into a world where they're connected in a calm, in a very consistent and intentional tone. But they just want to hodgepodge and mix shit there, and that's how you get, you know what I'm saying, that's how you get, what's it called, that's how you get that Justice League movie that was not the Snyder cut. Yeah. So you get all these other hodgepodge BS films that aren't good.
Yeah.
So I have no problem, actually, in reality, with connected universes. And honestly, I do like them because I do like when things tend to cross over. Like, come on, you know the That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana? Yeah. That shit was fire because they took their time. Yeah. They took their time. All right? Albeit it was, again, fairly fast as hell, but shit like that, you enjoy because it's not like, okay, out the blue. Yeah. It seems pretty logical. The plot made sense for why, you know what I'm saying, they all showed up at this one spot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, okay, yeah, shit just happened. I don't know why I'm using that as an example, but damn it, it's a good example, so I don't care.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to go with, like, so
I don't give it. Listen, that was better than Justice League. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right
definitely
now.
Definitely was a better team up than Justice League. I will say I don't like extended universes. Shit being in the same universe to me is fine. A lot of the sense, like, and people like interacting, depending on the severity of it, is fine. I just hate it when they use these team ups for something like, oh, yeah, is that Sherlock Holmes? And it's like, yeah, we have Sherlock Holmes interacting with Lupin the Third. That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah. And like the reason they're interacting is because they're in the same world, and now you're using Sherlock Holmes to drive people to Lupin, like what the CW did with Arrow and Flash. Like they were like, oh, you want to know what's going on in Arrow right now? Well, guess what? You got to go watch Flash. And it's like, well, why the fuck does this show have anything in it? And it's things like that you don't need that. You don't need that. And that's why I wish they just stopped doing it in general. Like if a one-time crossover episode or movie or whatever, sure, but that, like, there's just certain things that we don't need, but people think that because I'm gonna make a lot of money off of it, happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like it just sucks sometimes because people rush to make connect universes that people aren't even clinging to. Sometimes the first show didn't even marinate in people's heads, and you're already rushing to the second and third iteration where all this other stuff is like, in the works and they're all connected now. When like great shows are getting canceled in one season and stuff, you're just like, yo, we didn't have enough time to cook on that. This could have been a great show in its own right. So many standalone joints. Like, I don't know, man. It's wild. It's wild. Like, you look at shows like Watchmen and stuff like that. The newer Watchmen with what's her name?
I don't
know if it's King or Hall. I think it was Regina King. Yeah, I think it's Regina King. But with her, that iteration of Watchmen, that HBO series, and how that was just again a standalone bit, a really great piece of media, but it didn't need anything extra because it already had enough connections in and of itself, and it was still an insular story where it's focused on new characters and a new set of, again, a new set of conflicts. Yeah. But it was still connected to the whole Watchmen universe, and it didn't need we're setting up for this whole new thing down the line. Just left it there, and I don't know, man. Some things just don't need extra things, man. Some things don't need extra, iterations or collabs or teammate things, and some things require it. Some things are actually naturally progressing towards it. Shout out to Trips in the chat. Power Rangers 2, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
There's a lot of shit that
100% right.
That can be funded, but instead we're just trying to make this. I have a lot of feelings about what Marvel has done to media in general, but we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
Oh, facts. Yo, also, this is a random side note. Did you see this thing? Tyrese saw a fake quote from Martin Scorsese praising Morbius, and then he posted it on his Instagram like it was actually real. He was like, wow, I can't believe it, man. Big ups to you, King. He's talking to the director. He's like, yo, man, it's Martin Scorsese, the king of cinema, talking about it. I'm like, Tyrese, what the fuck? You fall for it every time, bro. Tyrese. But it's also like, yeah, man, Marvel cinema is like, listen, it's cool, but we're gonna have this discussion one day of how it's not the pinnacle of cinema, guys. It's great for me, for the nerd in me and all that stuff like that. It's fantastic and it soothes my soul. But I know there's a threshold for this.
Yeah.
Like, but that's another conversation for another day. Man. All right. Let's move on to some surprising news. I have not mentioned this game in a long time on this show, or even in my life as of late. Halo Infinite. It has been a long time since it's been mentioned, but we finally have updates on Halo Infinite and Season 2 changes that are coming to the game, which involves some shifts like attrition, which is a revivable teammate mode, and King of the Hill being added to the rotation of game modes, global melee damage decreasing by 10% on all weapons, PC crash and glitch fixes, a new arena map in Castle, and more, with a lot of improvements and talk about, again, just new process changes and stuff in the air. The new season is set to release on May 3rd. So we actually have new content coming on May 3rd. So, I mean, again, new season and actual update. What's going on, when?
So it's April. So yeah, so it'd be January, February, April, May. So it'd be next month. And it released in November, January, February, March, April. That's 6 months of nothing. That's 6 months. I'm happy that they're doing something though, because not to keep beating a dead horse, but I fucking hate this horse. Battlefield 2042, it took them 6 months to get a scoreboard. So you know what? At least they're doing something. At least somebody gives a fuck. But they're taking way too long with it. They should have. The thing is, like, in December when they dropped the single player, great, awesome, love that. And it is content. So I don't even want to consider it from November till May. You got to really kind of consider it from December, because that's when the game dropped. I still think like maybe having a separate team devoted to multiplayer, because I know a lot of the fan base is dried up because there's just not much. And I know a lot of my friends who I used to play Halo with, a lot of people say the same thing. There's just not new shit. And they could have added like something smaller. Like, I mean, I'm not saying maps are easy to make, but like more maps, something. Or even if they would have added like Forge mode, like you always talk about, that would have supplemented them having to really do shit, because people could have just been doing shit. And that's what's funny is I play Fortnite. I really hate that I keep bringing this game up, but it's doing a lot of things right, because people can make their own game modes. There's no team deathmatch in Fortnite, but somebody made a team deathmatch in Fortnite, and me and my friends are playing it, and it was fun because And the game didn't need to do it. Like,
you can't fault them.
you know what I'm saying? No building, just shooting.
Pushing the right buttons.
Like, that's what's crazy.
That's a fact.
I'm happy that we're getting new content for this game, to be honest with you. But will it be enough to bring it back from where it was, or to bring it back to its former glory? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. Honestly, Halo, it's a very tough slope for me because again, I love the Halo series, and the fact that it's been out of my consideration set for in terms of the rotation of games I play for so long right now. Like, it sucks.
Mhm.
It sucks. It's not. I mean, for me, I'm gonna move on to the next game that I'm interested in because it is what it is. But the fact that a lot of these game cycles now, I don't know if it was impacted by COVID or maybe just a lack of planning or something. The development cycle where the game drops, but then we have it again. We have the honeymoon phase for about a couple of weeks, and then there's just nothing else to supplement it. People are starting to change their perception of content drops, and it's getting a little bit more demanding, of course, for the industry. But I feel like for games of this scale and size, you have to have some type of contingency plan for when there's stuff that might not go right, or like there's stuff that might not go completely right, or things might get sped up a little bit. Understand the process is the process, but for something like this, if you want to be in the again in the limelight and kind of in a consistent rotation on streaming platforms, on video platforms, on all this stuff, and not have all the rhetoric be, oh, what happened to Halo? You know what I mean? You have to have the consistency and content drops. And now I feel like a good idea would have probably been to in the development pipeline, if new maps and such were going to be a far way out, try and supplement it with some old maps. Just have a classic playlist of just like, oh, drop an old map that we can easily drop from the files. We'll just throw it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw Blood Gulch in there 1 month. The next month, throw one more. Next month, throw one more. Next month, or just one every 2 months. Like something to have in the median before new maps drop and the whole season drops. Again, having like an ad hoc team to help oversee that stuff could have helped. But again, I don't know the logistics behind it, so I can't speak fully to it. But I mean, that's just an idea. It's like having consistency in some type of new content, even if it's a new game mode. Again, like having a King of the Hill, I don't think it would be the hardest thing in the world to add. For me, you already know me. I've been screaming Griff Ball for like 18 million years. Give me a blank open field. Give me a goal in the, I'm saying, a ball in the middle, 2 goals on the end. Let's go 4v4, 5v5 Griff Ball, and I will literally play Halo Infinite till the new, like, whatever map drop. It could be a year. I'll still play it. But the fact that it hasn't been supplemented properly to the standard that we want to see is a little bit disappointing. But again, they come with changes. They come with new game modes. They come with a new map. We can only hope that it really again reinvigorates a lot of people to turn back to Halo. But it's tough to see. But again, that's just the kind of the swing of the demand in the gaming industry, especially now for these types of games where you're again, multiplayer is free, so we want to be engaged as much as possible, but there's only so much you can do with a free game. Like you're gonna play the game to the hilt. You're gonna explore everything and do every like single like little corner. You're gonna explore everything, and once you do that, what's next? Because again, with the free game, there's no necessarily a barrier to entry or no like slowness for most people. It's gonna be like, yo, get in. We're gonna devour as much content as we can and consume. And once you get to that point of everything's there, what's the next thing? Because as soon as you lose that consistency of, oh, I have that content now, it's done. What's the next one? As soon as you run out of plates, people are gonna move on to the next plate. They're gonna go play something else. They're gonna go at the Apex. They're gonna go play Warzone. They're gonna go do this, that, and the third. So the onus at the end of the day, unfortunately, is on the development team to make sure that there's a consistent string of content. That's just my piece. Now, I hope this is really enough to again to satiate the fans that are again waiting for a new drop come May 3rd. And yeah, I hope it's enough, man. I hope y'all drop good too, man. That's my birthday, deadass, man. Y'all need to drop some good shit on my birthday, man. Don't disrespect my day like that, for real. Like, come on, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah. Another thing that I would also like to point out too is that Halo dropped in November. It was supposed to drop in December. Like they dropped early.
Yeah,
they didn't need to.
Early. They did not whatsoever, but they did beat the rush. They wanted to get ahead of the cycle, I guess, of Battlefield, and what they saw are just the thing community, man. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Like I just want to see consistency. That's really all I want to see. And I will devote myself and put the time into your game and make content on the game as much as possible. But people have such a, they only have so much, like on their tickers for engagement. You know what I mean? The attention span's getting shorter, y'all.
No, for sure.
But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
One
But
quick
on to the
second.
next.
Wait, hold on. I gotta go to the bathroom real fast.
All
I'll be
take your
right
time,
back. I'll be
take your
right
time, take your
back.
time.
My
That's why
bad.
we edit this in post, y'all. That's why we edit this in post. No, hold on. Let me back it up. Community spotlight type game modes. Yo, literally, bruh. Literally. Tripp losing the GI tournament was the highlight of Halo. Yo, hating ass man, bro. I lost in the final, all right? In the final, though. We beat like 4 other teams. And we beat the favorite team. We beat the team to beat. Shout out Dolph, though, because he carried half of us. But now, wait, all right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did carry. But we did put our work in. Nah, man. I can't accept that. I can't accept that. It ain't first. Nah, it's fair. That's fair. I did lose. We did lose that final, but I'm just saying, I still get a free copy of Samurai Zero because we made it to the final. What do you mean? I got a consolation though. I'll take it from a random draft pick to a final. I'll live with it. I'll live with it. But we gonna be back though. I need to figure out when the next tournament is. That's also another thing. When that next tournament comes back, I want parts. This man said loser talk. Fuck out of here, Jay. And Trips, I appreciate you, dog. Oh shit. Oh my gosh, man, they hating. Jay's hating on me. There it is. But don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna get my Kovacs up. I'm gonna turn into a monster.
Yes, I washed my hands. There's so much Wen doesn't wash his hands slander in my chat. My bathroom is like not even 10 feet from my computer.
Oh shoot, gotta make sure, bro. Hey, listen, man.
Everybody
I'm
thinks.
Take your hand through the screen, bro. Gotta be sure, man.
I'm just gonna be doing this to everybody. Hit them with the chicken wing.
Thanks, man. Good podcast. Good podcast. So you came back quick, bro. I questioning the time, bro.
I watched, but y'all really. I'm telling y'all, it's right there, bro. Oh man, that's funny.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. But yeah, on to this next topic here. So we actually had a content update this week. Speaking of revivals of games that have just been dormant, we have a content update this week from Turtle Rock, the team behind Back 4 Blood, as they announced the Tunnels of Terror DLC, bringing a brand new map, 2 new characters to use, which are named Cerise and Hang, new enemy types, weapons, gear, power cards, and more, with the DLC pack dropping April 12th next week for all platforms. So, I mean, Back 4 Blood is kind of back with some DLC, but is it too little too late? What's going on with them?
How long has it been since Back 4 Blood? Was that October? Like, the thing is, I hate being that guy who's like, yo, it's kind of too late for this shit, because new content is new content, especially if you like Back 4 Blood. I really do enjoy the game. It's really fun. And there's a lot of replayability, but the problem with it is that just like, once you played it, once you beat it, and you got the stuff that you did what you wanted to do, it's like, what's the point of it? You know, like what you gotta, if you want to be a live service or you want your game to continue to sell, you gotta have things ready. Or specifically, I feel like what hopefully happens in the future for games like Back 4 Blood or even Halo, like before you guys release, you shouldn't like release and then do stuff for the future. Like the days of that are like kind of gone. Like you should have
long gone.
Like Apex was one of the few games that was like, I think that was the last game where they dropped and then they had a long period of time with like no new content.
And they stopped that.
And now they are
changed their model completely.
Now they're continuously making shit.
They're seasons ahead of where they're dropping content for right now, because they know they need to have a consistency, and that should be the standard for all these games. I think at this point now, if you want to have that longevity and success like an Apex in the community and to last this long, albeit of course Apex only been around for like what, two years now, two and a half years.
Yeah, maybe 3.
2019. Yeah, 2019, like 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Like, but consistently at the top of leaderboards, beating out AAA title drops and all that stuff. It's still heavily in the discussion. It's still like arguably top 1 like most played game on Twitch right now. Like, if you want that level of consistency, you have to have forward planning and foresight for the drops that you make. Yeah. And again, this applies the same way to Back 4 Blood. I like Black 4 Blood when it dropped. Now, did I finish it all the way? Hell no, because it was hard as shit. Like, it was that, and I didn't have the whole squad with me the entire time, so I kind of lost it. It fell off a little bit to me. Now, can I pick it back up? Absolutely. I would actually like to pick it back up at some point, but it's already like, okay, is there, I can just kind of beat the main story and just kind of do my thing, whatever. The incentive to come back is lessened a little bit now for
Yes.
me. Like, okay, there's new content, there's new stuff, but it doesn't feel like, okay, what's my buy-in? What's my price for coming back in to like kind of re-download the game, the cost for doing all that stuff, organizing all these people to get back in the game and play it and stuff like that. Like, is it really worth it? And that's the hardest mountain for people to climb, for games to climb, especially after people leave, after, you know, the content served their purpose, so they just haven't had anything new in a while. So for me, it might be a case of too little too late, but I'm still open to playing it. I'm glad that they're dropping content. I'm not sure if this is free or not. I think it might be free.
I don't think it is. I think the map might be
not
free, but the character might. I don't think the characters might be.
Yeah. If it's not, hold that, man. We good off that. You good?
And thank you for your time.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. Shouts to that first level. You know what I'm saying? Got me through some real tough times.
I really enjoy it. It's just you got to think about the genre. Like, we have a lot of zombie shooters, and like, if you want to really separate yourself, you guys did a good job of separating yourselves. But if you don't have anything else to give me after I beat it, like, I just don't. I'm just gonna either go play another zombie shooter, or I'm just gonna move on. It's not a genre that I've been itching to play. That's why, like, I really love Evolve, and I'm really sad to see it go, because I feel like they could remake it or like do something with it. But
yeah,
because it's different, it was very different first time. But like a zombie shooter, once you beat Back for Blood and you're like, man, I want to play more zombie, you can just go play like a bajillion other zombie games that we have. Like, you could go back for Left 4 Dead, which was one of the games that they first made.
Facts. Which is like, and the sad thing of that this game is, it's always going to be compared to the Left 4 Dead series, and the nostalgia factor versus the new, it's going to be so hard to fight against that, because Left 4 Dead is such an iconic series to so many, and in Back 4 Blood, again, like, you're automatically going to have that comparison because it's the same core team essentially.
Yeah.
And again, same premise and concept. So you're already up against the mountain, making it harder for yourself in terms of the content, and, you know, not having that foresight and content drops. And again, the consistency is the name of the game. If you don't have that, that's where people drop off. That's where stuff gets, you know, that's where stuff goes left for you. So it is what it is on that front, bro. It's just, it's tough. It's tough to see, but my backlog's heavy enough, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta get pushed back into priority. I'm sorry.
If you're gonna be a multiplayer game and you want people to continuously play, you gotta bring things for people to continuously do. Like, that's just kind of what it is. And I don't want people to be like killing themselves making content for these games, like pushing out, crunching, or whatever. But I just feel like if y'all didn't have extra stuff ready, why not wait a little bit longer and be like, all right, cool. And then after 3 months, let people play it, let people who didn't buy it, let a sale happen. It's like, all right, 3-4 months passed. Let's get this other DLC out. We got this DLC coming. Or whatever. But I just feel like if you want to be a multiplayer game, you gotta be willing. If you want to be a live service multiplayer game, you gotta be willing. Or actually, not even that. If you want to sell DLC, you gotta have it ready for when your game starts to get stale. And
Facts.
that game came out early October. I don't even know when this DLC is dropping. But
Yeah, next week, April 12th.
oh, next week? Too late. I'm sorry. I already moved. I've been way moved on.
What? That's actually a good question in the chat.
What does a perfect live service game look like to y'all? Perfect is a great question, because it really depends on the game. Live service, it depends on what the game, how many things you can do in said game. So if it's like a survival game where you have so many options and so many ways of playing, you don't need to update it as often as you would think. But a game like Back 4 Blood, where it's literally 2 game modes, you need a lot. You need to keep, you got to think about it in terms of like, what's the replayability like? Well, you can do different builds in Back 4 Blood. Cool. But is there anything outside of me going from point A to point B? No. What they could have did was do some procedurally generated stuff. That's always like an easy, cheap way of doing things. Like, hey, guess what? Like, that's why Borderlands has a lot of replayability, is because they have not a procedure. They have parts that are procedurally generated, but they also have like the slaughterhouses and things like that. It's like, I want to grind loot, or procedurally generated loot too.
Rejuvenating lanes. Yeah, rejuvenating lanes. You again, it's either randomized every time, or it's just a constant source of, okay, you can go back to and regrind.
Yeah,
like there's that. Like, no, not GTA 5. I don't want no damn shark cards of GTA Plus, Jay.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. GTA 5.
GTA 5's content drop, I will say, is more consistent.
It does drop a lot of content, and a lot of the content is free.
Give that up.
It's It's
Yes.
a cash grab to the ends of the earth. It is for sure a cash grab to the end of the earth, but they do drop content. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's free. You're not paying for shit. Well, you're paying for the fact that I don't have 65 hours to grind one thing so I can get the one thing. I'm gonna put money on it, but like they do drop shit. It sucks. I mean, but you also gotta think is like GTA doesn't even do that much different shit either, because all this shit is like a little variation. But even just that, like I would say 3 months. If you want to be live service, 3 months. So that's 4 big content drops. So if you were Back for Blood, you drop in October, November, December, you would have had something out by January, February, the latest, or even 4 months. Because the thing is, if you can keep people playing, even like the dedicated fans, you can keep them playing for 3 months at least, because you could do some sales. You know what I'm saying? Like there's ways to finagle it, but I just don't think that you can drop something, wait 6 months, and then expect everybody. 6 months is a lot. It's a long ass time nowadays, especially with all the free to play games.
And everything else like crowding your vision. Like you have to have a good turnaround of like again, look like the just kind of like the general wave of new releases. Like you'll get the buzz. Like okay, nothing ever really that consistent. You'll hit you hit peaks every now and again, but then you'll start to taper off. At some point when you hit that little like down part, you need content right when it hits there.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it hits that little downturn and like it's getting a little dry, you're not seeing it as much on the timeline as much. That's when you drop new content.
Yeah.
So for me to answer that question, what does a perfect live service game look like to y'all? I'll say not perfect, but ideal. And I can use the example of an FPS shooter or AAA shooter like a Battlefield, like a Halo, like a Call of Duty, because that's kind of the big ones that we've been talking about. I'd say on release, you drop like you drop your usual maps, you drop your 2 to 3 game modes, you drop a decent haul. But beforehand in the pre-playing process, you need to have 2 to 4 maps, or 2 to 4 maps, or 2 to 4 maps, 1 to 2 new game modes, a cosmetic haul, battle pass update, or something like that. Like in the total package, every 8 to 10 weeks. I would say 8 to 10 weeks, and that just comes from pre-planning in like the development phases and stuff like that. So think about like 2.5 months. You drop in November, you're waiting about 2.5 months. It's about January, sometime in early January, you have a small little content drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you drop 2 maps, you drop, you drop a couple of things here and there, stuff to keep people refreshed. Oh, a new game mode for this whole thing, this whole little segment, a whole little update here and there. It's not the biggest thing in the world, it's not the biggest overall task, but those 2 maps, again, those 2 little things, these little inclusions, just keep that little uptick for the next content update. And then you could also stockpile. You could be like, okay, cool. We'll wait like 10 to 12. Oh yeah, we'll go 10 to 12 and go like a maximum of 3 months of a wait, and then we'll drop a bigger DLC pack on you for like maybe like 4 to 6 maps. Yeah. And then we'll drop again, 4 to 6 maps, a whole new battle pass, a whole new set of cosmetics, 3 new game modes, a whole new bunch of like operators, and maybe a couple new guns and such. But I would say in terms of time period, the most ideal situation I think for a lot of these titles would be 8 to 12 weeks, but specifically 8 to 10. If you can get in that 8 to 10 period, I feel like that's perfect, because you give people enough time to explore a lot of this stuff, because people are working faster and faster nowadays.
Yeah.
So you give them enough time to explore the ins and outs of the base offering that you have, and then once that 8 to 10 weeks hits, okay, we're starting to see, we've seen everything. We're starting to see some of the same clips nowadays. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, new shit. And then now that reinvigorates everybody all over again and keeps that consistency. You want linearity from period to period. So it's just having that timing down. I feel like 8 to 12 weeks is that sweet spot.
Yeah. Even like, I want to say like Apex has, it's their seasons are in 3 months, 3-month seasons. Halfway through the season's rank resets. So that's another game mode to like, if you grind rank, you have another reason to come back. The split happens. So now it's time to go back and re-rank. You get events every season. There's at least one big event, but usually it's like 2 to 3. I want to say, like, you gotta bring it.
LTMs across depending on season and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's so much into it, and while Apex is not like
it's not the best. It's definitely not the best
right now. Of course not. But in terms of the content offering and the consistency in their rotation from season to season, they're doing it. They're one of the best people to do it right now, because if you're an Apex, again, main player, even if you don't, you're coming back to something relatively new. You have either it's a collection event or something like that. A collection event, if it's not, it's an LTM. If it's not an LTM, it's a new season. If it's not a new season, oh yeah, okay, there might be some little thing like updated here and there. Like they just started teasing the new season, like I believe yesterday. I saw something on Reddit that was about they started teasing the new season. So they're already the train and the momentum never really stops, then you can say that, okay, the people's hype varies depending on season and what they expected from last and stuff like that. But you can never say that Apex stops and really leaves anything to dry at all in terms of their content, in terms of their actual consistency. They remain very consistent with what they do. It's just the impact and the reception from the fans that vary sometimes, depending on the legend and depending on whatever it is. But that's how it should be for a lot of these multiplayer, a lot of these big AAA experiences. If you're a multiplayer, if you're an online game, you need to stick closer to that format where you have drops that are, again, 3 months and under. Like 2.5 to 3, again, is that sweet spot, and that's what keeps people engaged. You gotta really anticipate people's attention spans for certain games. You're only gonna be in there for so long. Like Elden Ring is gonna be in there for so long because it's a single player game. There's so much content to the game. You don't need to drop anything new for that for a long time. Like for them, it's an exception because like you don't even need to drop any DLC or anything for that. But like another, like again, from release to about 6 months, probably like 5 to 6 months, you don't even need to drop anything. Probably even more. Probably a little bit more. Like, but again, I'm speaking to the multiplayer case and the online case. You have to keep it shorter because people will move on. There are single player games to play. There are other online games to play. There's free games to play. There's so much other options. We have so much on our plate. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at we had a buffet. So, if you got to keep yourself hot on the presses, if people going to rock with it, you got to, keep switching them out. If people going to take them up, you got to get new ones out just as quick. So,
and you got to think single player games are very different from multiplayer games because, again, it depends on how good the game is with that. But that's a whole other conversation. Because like think about it, like what if Deathloop dropped a DLC right now? Depending on the DLC, if it's big enough or if it's good enough, people will go back. But you gotta,
I know I would.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like some people will go back, but like if you're not gonna drop something of substance, like, or if you want to be a multiplayer game and you're like, I want people to play this game all the time. Well, guess what? That's not a good thing for you because they're playing it all the time and they're finishing it. So what do you got? They know, all these developers know how long it takes to beat their games. They knew what was up with Back 4 Blood, and if they thought it was going to be so good that the replay value was going to be so great that people were going to keep going, that's why they waited so long. And it wasn't. Now and now other developers should see that Back 4 Blood is going back. Let's track those numbers and see what happens. Oh, people re-downloaded it. Cool. Then maybe we were wrong, and everybody did want to go back to play Back 4 Blood. If the numbers aren't as high as they expected, now they're like, all right, cool. Now we know for next time we're not dropping in October. We're gonna drop in January or February or whatever, and we're gonna have in 3 or 4 months we're gonna have more DLC, and it might keep people hooked. And because if you show me a game that consistently gets updates and consistently gets support, I might be more inclined to play because I don't want to spend $60 on a game or whatever that just going to be dead after I spend the $60, unless it's a good single player game.
That's a fact, man. It's all about again, consistency. Well, I forgot what it was. It was like the easy part is getting here, or the easy part is getting the crown. The hard part is keeping it.
Yeah.
Like that's real. That's real right there. Like the hardest part of getting somewhere and getting to success is keeping that status, or getting to the next level above it. And that's what a lot of these companies need to master now. Again, the landscape's changing.
Yeah.
Gotta anticipate with it. That was a good conversation. Damn. All right, I was there. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Back 4 Blood DLC dropping next week. On to this last topic. It's not anything. It's not news. The news is done for the week. Well, again, it was a really dry week, but it's a question. A very interesting question. As a lot of the Twitter world and stuff is talking about cancelable takes. I have found it upon myself to actually ask the question here on No Cooldown. What is your cancelable gaming take? Now I'm pretty sure that thread's been established on Twitter. I do not care because that shit don't matter. We gonna ask
this ain't Twitter.
And it's here. Facts. This shit ain't Twitter. We gonna ask you where it matters, and what matters is the No Cooldown podcast. So we gonna ask you what is your cancelable gaming take?
There's so many. I guess
don't steal mine.
No.
Don't steal mine. I know there's already one that we've talked about before on this podcast, of course.
I don't think I'll steal yours. What I was gonna say is a lot of people don't want to be better at games. They just want to win. Like a lot of people really think that like a lot of people are like, no, I'm the best at games. They're like, oh, you guys suck. It's like, no, bro. You suck too. You just wanted to win. And I stand by that, because there's a lot of people who will play. I had this conversation on Twitter with somebody else about Elden Ring, and they were saying like somebody made a post or a thread about, you guys love to run away or to overheal when you're playing Elden Ring, when you're like somebody invades your thing. And shout out to Pleasantly Twisted, she was like, you're invading my fucking game. Why do I have to give you like, why am I not being rude? Yeah. Why do I have to not be rude or play?
Why am I playing by your rules?
You're invading me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, a lot of, and I think we talked about it, and I can't remember, I think she said it, but it was like somebody else in that thread said it, but they were saying like, a lot of people don't want skill-based matchmaking. And I was like, yeah. And that's something, even in Elden Ring, a lot of the Elden Ring community is like, you guys don't really want to play hard games, because if you would, or to be good gamers, because if you wanted to be a good gamer, you would play a competitive game. You would play something like Tekken, you would play something like fucking Street Fighter, you would play something like Apex. You don't want to be challenged. You want to win and look like you got challenged. Like, that's really, it's not about actually being good at the game. It's about looking like you're good at the game.
I'm just laughing at Jay. This man in the chat said Kingdom Hearts is a disease. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck your take. I'll say that right now. Your take is invalid. It doesn't matter.
You're canceled, actually. This is not a safe space.
Oh shoot! No, I'm messing with you, Jay. But listen. We can go back and forth with these takes. I got probably more than one, but I'll start off. I don't think this is honestly a hot take. I don't think it's that hot. It's just objectively pretty much there. Let me be frank, and we've said this before, and we've agreed. Uncharted is some mid. Y'all massively overrate that series. And this has come from somebody who.
No, I'm fucking with you.
No, it's too late. We're in collective, bro. You gotta die. Come on, stop playing with me. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. It's overrated. Y'all massively overrated, and this is coming from somebody who actually I really like that series. Uncharted 4 multiplayer was fire. Uncharted 2, one of my top games on the PlayStation platform. Like, for real. But y'all overrated like it's actually up there with the best of all time. Now, there's a distinction there. Like, on the PlayStation platform, I'm like, yeah, nah, it's up there. Definitely. The Uncharted franchise up there, man. Like, carried the banner for a good little bit. Like, it was pretty solid. Like, good action sequences, dope gameplay. I actually love the action adventure, the hunter type series, the treasure hunter type series and shit like that. National Treasure was my shit. Indiana Jones is my shit. Like, I like those types of films. But the fact that y'all put it on the pedestal of like, oh, it's on God of War's level, it's on such and such level, I'm like, y'all are smoking crack. Literally, Tomb Raider did it before you. Before it was even a game, Indiana Jones did it before you. Relax. Like, take it easy. Nick Cage did it before you, bro. I'm pretty sure National Treasure came out before Uncharted. So let's not act like this is like, again, let's not act like it's gospel, because it's not. Uncharted is literally like, it's some decent mid. It's an enjoyable franchise, but it's not. It can't even crack top 20, maybe top 25 franchise of all time. It probably doesn't even crack
franchises. All right.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you list out all the franchises, I might actually do this like one day. If you list out,
I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way. I'm not disagreeing. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you go off.
I'm just putting. If you go down the top to like any 25 game franchises of all time, I can think of like 10. Like, you know what I'm saying, off the top of my head. I'm not gonna say it now, but like automatically it's not in the top 10 because it's already 10 solidly in front of it. And if I think hard enough and do more research, there's gonna be a bunch of games that are literally on paper way more impactful and way better than Uncharted. It doesn't even crack top 25. It's overrated, but it's still enjoyable. So just enjoy it, y'all. Don't put it on top because it's not gonna make it that far. I promise you. That's one.
That's not bad. No. You're not wrong. I'm not gonna sit here like I can't sit here and defend Uncharted because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of the game that I was like, in a lot of the games, there's always parts where I'm just like, yeah, we could have skipped this. Even in 4, which was arguably my favorite one of all of them, I was just like, we could have moved past this.
Factual.
Nintendo does not love their fans I don't even think you could get canceled for that because that's pretty on brand.
I don't even think that's a take. I don't even think that's a hot take, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Tom Holland and Marky Mark were like a word with you, Tripp, man. Tom Holland, cool. He a Tottenham fan. I don't know if I can rock with him like that, you know. But nah, the Nintendo take is like pretty
That's spot
lukewarm to
on.
me because I'm like, they've proven it time and time again. They build up a really one of the most popular fight, if not the most popular fighting community of all time, and then Nintendo doesn't even acknowledge it. They don't even want to host none of the tournaments or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Nintendo fans they're diehard. They go head over heels. They accept anything Nintendo gives them, and Nintendo don't even care about them like that. Especially Western Nintendo fans, like they get shafted a lot, bro.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest, how many E3s and whatnot, they get all these crazy hyper, like again treehouse reactions and stuff like that. And then the main game on stage was either Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze or Chibi Robo. And how many like depressed Nintendo fans that I saw over my time. Shout out to my boy Tyrone. Tyrone, if you listen to this, I see you, my dog. I would literally go into school after like a terrible Nintendo conference. I'd just see his face. I'd be like, didn't go well, didn't? He's like, nah. No, it didn't. He was sit there just like TV Robo, man.
I don't know. I kind of like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. It's like, no, I remember seeing Donkey Kong Tropical, and I was like, oh, cool, Donkey Kong game. And then they did Freeze. I was like, oh, damn, we didn't. All right, cool, I guess.
and that was it.
All right, cool. No, yeah, that's
that
it.
was the main course for that entire presentation, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and on top of that, he's correct. On top, Nintendo does some real shady stuff with their past game libraries. You can't even buy half of the stuff that's not even there. And then when people pirate, you shut them down. I'm like, there's a reason for the piracy because you probably didn't even put them on the marketplace in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you guys are kind of the root of a lot of your own problems from that standpoint. So
Yeah.
if you just acknowledge certain stuff and set boundaries, y'all will be fine. And people would love y'all even more. But they create a lot of the terms for their ridicule, to be honest.
Yeah.
They create a lot of the circumstances that they get in trouble for. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's wild, man. Yeah, Nintendo, they don't fuck with the fans. They don't. Oh man.
I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I have.
Yeah. People be underrating the Xbox 360 too much. They be underrating it. I feel like people like yes,
You're just full of them today, huh? You just got a bunch of them, huh?
I'm just saying the Xbox 360 should be rated higher as a console. Maybe I'm seeing maybe it's younger heads or whatever on Twitter or whatever, and make me sound like I'm old as shit. But like Xbox 360 should have been rated higher. Xbox 360 is it's a top console. It's a top console of all time. Like I'm not saying it's top one, but it's up there. It's up there in that conversation. You could argue it to be like a top 5. You could argue it to be a top 5, even the top 4 or 3. I'm gonna be honest.
Top 4 or 3.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Xbox 360 was they listen. They actually set up so much stuff for online play, party chats, accessibility. Like, come on now. PlayStation was not having any half of the stuff that Xbox 360 had in terms of features, compatibility, all that stuff. Xbox 360 was rocking. They was rocking for a good while too. Halo 3, Gears, all that, like, and they was like coming out Fable. Like they was actually turning up. They was turning up Xbox 360 times. So you cannot deny that Xbox 360 was like it was one of them ones. It was one of them ones, and nobody can deny that. Nobody can. I'm not no Xbox shill or nothing like that, but I'm saying it was crazy, and it deserves to be up there. It deserves this clout as one of the best consoles of all time. I will say that.
Oh man, like I like the thing is like I don't have too many crazy ones because like I always just feel like and that's not even like I agree with most mainstream stuff, but I don't really think of anything like insane. The only thing I can think of is like Crash Bandicoot is for sure overrated. That's a fact.
Yes, I love this.
Crash Bandicoot is 1000% overrated, and the reason I say this is because there's like games on the PlayStation 1 that were like insanely better. Like you have crazy games on PlayStation 1, and they're just like, oh no, the Bandicoot is the one, and it's mostly just because it's a mascot. Same thing with Spyro. I don't really like Spyro either. I was just like it's cool, but it's also just like go ahead. I don't fuck with the Spyro. Like I've never seen a Spyro game and been like, I want to play that. That was cool.
Spyro much less so than Crash Bandicoot.
It's a better game than Crash. I will say that.
I haven't played all the Spyros. But I like Spyro. I think Spyro's a decent thing, but I didn't grow up with it, so I can see where it's like, okay, it's not as enticing to some people. But I will go in with you 100%. that Crash Bandicoot's ass. I'm sorry, that joint is not it does not hold up in time. It is not as iconic. The only iconic joint from there is the Uber. That's literally it. I'm sorry, Crash Bandicoot's not that hot. I'm sorry, I'm going in on this is gonna make me look like a
you said I'm not an Xbox. You said I'm not an Xbox shill, and then said 3 back-to-back slanderous statements about things that are PlayStation related.
They go get me. Oh shit. Oh shoot, bro. I'm gonna see hella Sony ponies at my door, bro. It's about to be a rap movie, nigga. Nah. At me, kid Smooth. Oh shit, this is crazy. Oh no, this is funny as hell, bro. Now, I wish that Phil Spencer check with Claire. Listen, this I wouldn't even have this hoodie on. I would have put on some Halo, bro. I would have took out an old ass wallet. I'm like, listen, man. I'm just saying that I didn't like Crash Bandicoot, and I don't think it's that great of a franchise, except for Crash Team Racing. Crash Team Racing was actually pretty good. I like Crash Team Racing, but that's that. Dang. What else, man? What else? There's got to be some other ones in there. I did not see Master Chief's ass. I still gotta watch the show, but yeah, apparently he booty butt ass naked in that show. That's not a cancelable gaming take as much as
as weird.
So. That's an interesting choice, Spielberg. Okay.
No, I can't. I really can't think of anything.
I thought you were gonna go with the easy mode, the difficulty thing.
Oh, because I don't think that's a fucking hot take at all. I think every game deserves an easy mode. I can't see that shit as a hot take or a cancelable take. I don't think that shit's like a bad take whatsoever.
It's not. But to the general consensus of the gaming, I guess the gaming community, a lot of weirdos think it is a cancelable and hot take.
You're gonna cancel me for an easy mode? Like that's what's so crazy. Like I don't even think it's a hot take because I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Cancel over there, but they will give you shit.
No, I get what you're saying. But like, I just like that shit is so out of left field for me. Like, if you really think that shit, a more cancelable take would be like, I think every game should have the walkthrough built into the game. Like, I think that should be a fucking thing personally. And the reason I say that shit is because there's no reason.
Interesting.
I think every game should have a walkthrough or cheats or whatever. And it's simple because some of us don't got fucking 80 million hours to find every single individual thing for something. Elden Ring or any fucking big RPG. Like, you really think I got time? Like, think about it if you were playing Skyrim, right? And you wanted to find all those beacons that are in the game, the collectible whatever the fucks, and there's like 56 or whatever in the game. Imagine if you try to do that shit without a walkthrough. How much time do you think you're gonna lose on that? Like, I was playing a game the other day and I was like, I gotta look at a fucking walkthrough to get through this. I was playing Tunic and I missed something. And I'm like, wow, if I didn't walk through this area again, I would have never grabbed this fucking awesome spell that I can now use to get further in the game. Why is that being gate kept? You know, I don't see it. It just doesn't make sense.
That's fair. I just wanted to respond to dude.
No, you're fine. Like, I don't see it as accessibility or making shit easy as a fucking in a something that's supposed to be fun and supposed to be an enjoyable experience. Like, I don't see how making that experience easier for yourself is a bad thing ever.
Yeah, I see that. Honestly, I kind of agree with that. For me, it's just kind of like people who disagree might be, I guess, indoctrinated by the status quo. If you don't usually get those types of, I guess, assurances. So it's like, okay, it is what it is. I've learned to adapt in this environment, so therefore it must be the standard always. But
yeah,
it might not always have to be the case. You know, it doesn't always have to be the case in that sense. So I can see where you're coming from on that. I forgot about this one. Damn, this is gonna make me look crazy on this. Oh shoot. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is overrated, y'all. Come on. I'm sorry, y'all. Red Dead Redemption 2 is overrated. Come on. When do you want to take this one?
No, I don't want to take this one. That you said it. You take it. I'm not taking this one.
I just saw his face.
That was a good game.
Nah, listen. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's even a good game. It's actually a pretty great game. I'm just saying people are hailing it as like one of the greatest joints of like ever in existence in perpetuity. I'm like, bro, for me personally, I played through all Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it was actually a great game. But to say to the extents and depths that I've seen it portrayed as, again, I'm just like, okay, to me, it might not have been the best game of all time. I don't think so. I think people overrate it. I feel like the extremes of certain fans take it to astronomical heights, and I'm like, come on now. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is not like, I don't know. I'm just saying people just took it to a whole extreme level where I think like, come on now, come on. I don't know. It might be the fandom that take it further for me. It might be the fandom that take it.
I can
further
understand
than what it
that.
should be. But I think it's a great game personally. But like, is it? Again, they was like, yo, like don't even release no more games no more. This is it. This is the pinnacle. I'm like, damn, nigga, like no more. Like this is it. Like at all. I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from because fandoms have ruined things for me. I think that game is amazing. I will say this: I haven't beat it, mostly because it's so massive. But I also have it on my PS4, and that's the main reason I haven't beat it. Like I've thought about buying it on PC, but I'm not paying $40 for it. But I think it's an fucking amazing game. I can't. You might be on your own on this one, bro. I wanna be on your side.
That's fine, bro. Listen, I'll stand on my own on that one. I'll stand on my own on this one because I'm like, bro, it could again be largely down to the fandoms, but some people just overrate that joint like to the ends of actual time, and I was like, dog, I don't know. I just didn't think it was like the greatest game of all time. I think it's a great game, but for me personally, it's not in my top games of all times objectively. I don't know.
We're gonna have to make a list of top games of all time to figure out what goes on this list and what doesn't go on this list.
It's fair, bro. It's fair. Name a better game. Listen, off the top of my head, listen.
This is gonna be wild.
No. Listen, because I'm trying to actually think. Okay, like across all of gaming history, like literally, you could pick. I can go literally simple and say Mario, bro. I can go Mario and tell you the impact of that game, the actual like gameplay in the sense of time, more impactful and a better game overall. Like I could say some bullshit like that. I can literally say some bullshit like that. But I'm trying to think. Okay, objectively, storyline. Okay. It's a Western, nigga. It's like, okay, it's a rat in the group and all shit like that. I'm not even gonna shit on the storyline because I actually like storyline. Let me backtrack that thought. But it'll be a better game than that, honestly. I would have said God of War off the top of my head, like the God of War remake, because I like that game so much. But
okay,
niggas could be partial to that. I don't know.
So
people could be partial to that shit.
So Captain Trips, I noticed you mentioned graphics. I wouldn't put that in terms of like what makes it a better game. Honestly, I can name you one game that's better, and I think everybody would agree. Witcher 3 for sure beats.
Witcher 3
for sure beats. Don't act like you said it, bro. Don't act like you said it. He's not arguing. Witcher 3 is a better game.
Thank you, podcast partner Wet Easy, baby. We got him.
But Red Dead 2 is arguably it's really good. It's really good. I will agree that I don't even know if I would put it in my top 10 games of all time list. I don't know if it would crack that. But yeah. I think Witcher 3 or even I personally would put Metal Gear Solid 5 over Red Dead 2, but that's also like I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan.
That's personal preference.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think it's bad to say that you don't think that game is as amazing as people are saying it is.
And it in a sense, again, that's what I'm saying. Overrated. I'm not saying that the game is ass or anything like that, because I still think it's actually a pretty great game. But the fact that people took it to like the OD ends of the earth. Like,
I know what you mean.
I think Red Dead 1's better than Red Dead 2. But
and you're smoking. You're actually wrong. No, you're wrong. No, I'm sorry. You're wrong, bro. I
like the story more.
No, all right. That's valid.
I like John Marston's whole shit more. That was just me.
I feel you.
That's just me.
I feel you.
But that's my personal preference.
I feel you.
Because of what I played off of both. I understood the shit. I thought it was both of them are again great games. But I just think off of certain things, like again, my personal preference, and especially down to the storylines, the story beats, I liked that side more. I liked it.
All right.
But that's just my shit.
No, I feel you. I respect it. That's hey, we're all entitled to
one.
And Captain Trips, I can explain why I like 5 more than Red Dead 2, but I don't even know if we have that kind of a time. But it's mostly not necessarily because of story. graphics, honestly, I feel like it's really kind of on par. Red Dead 2 has better like small details and like there's a lot of details in the shit. But I liked Metal Gear Solid's gameplay loop, and it's like not really creative because you're not really creating shit, you're kind of just upgrading shit. But I like Metal Gear Solid 5 over Red Dead 2 because like, and the thing is, when I first played Red Dead 2, I sat in a chair and played it for 6 hours straight, no breaks, nothing. Like I literally sat there and played it nonstop. But I like 5 just because I just like the game more. It's just more fun for me. But you can't compare a Western game to a game where you have a fist that shoots like a missile. Like it's two completely different things. I don't even like comparing games, to be honest with you, like that. The reason I said Witcher 3 is because it's a similar kind of scope.
Yeah, it's a gameplay kind of style. Again, horseback, same kind. Roughly, I guess rough setting. It's not like technologically based like that.
Yeah, and even then, like you have Witcher kind of has the edge of being an RPG and you can control the story more than you can do it in Red Dead 2. But I would put Witcher up there. But again, it's all really subjective. All this shit is really subjective at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Also forgot. I again, this is stuff that I mentioned before, but Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout anything in terms of whatever. It's the best Fallout game, and it wasn't even made by what's the name, Bethesda. That's tough. I will stand on that one. I'm not gonna lie. That one I can stand on. It's the best game with the Fallout. It's the best Fallout franchise title, and it's not even a mainline Bethesda made joint. Obsidian made that. Yeah. Obsidian might be better at the Fallout game than the niggas who made Fallout. That's crazy, but it is what it is. That's what I believe.
I understand that. I can't argue with it because I never played New Vegas. 4 is my favorite, which is quote unquote cancelable in and of itself. But 4 is just a better game to play. For me, it's just more fun. But yeah, I don't really have that many because I can't think of one that isn't just like me shitting on the community.
Yeah,
like it's more like I have more issues with gamers than I do with games themselves.
Yeah, the games, of course. Oh yeah, no. For as many gaming, I guess cancelable hot takes I have for games, I have is like 3 times as many for everybody in the gaming community. Like
that's the thing about me is
weird.
Like somebody will like when you say like I don't think Red Dead 2 is like the best game of all time or whatever the fuck. Like I don't think that's a bad take to have because it's subjective. It's a good conversation. Saying shit like Elden Ring gets ruined by easy mode or whatever the fuck, like that is more fucking egregious to me. Like I'll actually have an issue with that over like fucking hey I like this game more than this game or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like how does certain people's experience that has nothing to do with yours impact the actual experience of the game?
Like
it had nothing to do with you. You could have played it on whatever. I don't even think was there a difficulty spike? I don't know. I haven't played the game.
In what Elden Ring? It gets easier.
There's no difficulty marker. Yeah. Oh,
that's what like.
Is there no setting? Is there any setting?
No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
So why the fuck is they complaining?
It doesn't matter.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you could make. What I'm saying is like you could literally like even in what game am I playing right now that they asked me Guardians of the Galaxy or other games, they literally say like, hey, you can play it on this mode, this is how we want you to play it, and then when you play it, that's how they want you to play. So if it's difficult, you're like, they want this part to be difficult because that's what they want me to feel. But putting a mode in the game but it's like, yo, this will make it, this is not how we want you to play it, but you can play it, like who gives a fuck? Rock Band's refusal to expand to other genres killed it in my opinion.
Nah, I like that. I kind of like that take.
You can like it, but I don't. I think what killed the genre is having to buy the peripherals. That's what I think killed the genre. I think that's what killed the genre because motherfuckers don't got space for a fake drum set.
I feel like they needed to also market the use of controllers that were also available.
That would have been better. I would have played Rock Band if I could use a controller.
Market controllers and the peripherals at the same time. Like give people the option at least. I think that would have helped the longevity of it a lot more.
Yes.
Because Guitar Hero wasn't doing anything different until DJ Hero or whatever. And then they did Band Hero way after and stuff like that. If they had some lane to be like, okay, listen, you can just use your base controller or you can use this and have this stuff here. That opens up the lane for so many more people who have access to it. And again, it's just the accessibility thing. Because you offered it to so many niche people who are able to buy that stuff, that means you have that much fewer of an audience. So yeah, you just kind of price yourself out with that shit.
For sure. They targeted, and that's why I was like not surprised when it's all, like mostly rock band shit, because it's like they didn't target like they didn't do a lot of shit, because you can't, like, you can use guitars, and like there's a lot of guitars and like drums, especially drums. There's a lot of drums in hip hop. But I think they were targeting like upper middle class white kids. I think that's who their target audience was, and that's why they were like, we're gonna do the Beatles, like fucking Beatles or whatever.
Like, who gives a Beatles?
Sure,
man, that's another cancel.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different podcast. I don't even know if we can say this right here. That's out of range right now. I don't even want to go in on that, bro. That is very, very different. But yeah, man, I loved Rock Band and stuff. If they would have had it for like rap songs and stuff, like just let us rap over them, bro, I would have been going crazy. Yeah. Like, oh man, I low key do miss those games.
Those games are good.
Those games,
like my friend had one in college, and he brought it, and I was like, I didn't even know that they had peripherals for this shit till this day. Like, I was like, I thought this was supposed to be only PS2 era, and I was like, no, there's shit for the PS3. I was like, oh, I didn't know. That's a Rock Band, but that shit, the way licensing and music and shit works in video games nowadays, I don't think we'll ever see another game similar to that.
It's bad. It's bad. They couldn't even find, like, you saw having the Twitch sings. Them boys got them shits out of there quick. We
had Fuser, which is a great game, but like, have you heard from them, motherfucker? I have the game, and I haven't heard shit from them in a long time. And I thought I was gonna be the game that comes back, you know, the music game that comes back.
It's too much stuff you get wrapped in on, bro. The game it's a lot more complicated now. I remember like PS2 shit like SingStar. I remember we had that in the house, and we were just playing from there. I'm like, it was way simpler to implement that stuff back then, because you probably get a flat rate for this many songs or whatever, and then cool. You know what I'm saying? Or at least you pay this amount to get them in. But now that games are that much bigger, and they're gonna be, you know, in the public eye, it's royalty.
They want money.
It's all this other stuff, licensing, and like, okay, it's a new source that they popped up from. What the hell? We never heard of this before. It's not registered. How the hell are we gonna get paid for this? That's a lot of hoops.
Can streamers play it on their stream? Because technically, like, that's rebroadcasting music. Like that was one of my biggest fears when I bought Fuser, and I was able to do it on Twitch, but I'm scared if I was to play Fuser on YouTube, it would not be the same. That's why I haven't played it in a long time. I play it on like my own time.
And it's crazy because they could apply it to now. Like, they could do it without peripheries. Because I mean, like, you do button combos, but then controllers nowadays come with like built-in mics.
Yeah.
They come with built-in microphones like the PS5.
Yeah.
So you could literally just, like, you know, do it like this. Now, if somebody could foot the bill, like on an actual, I guess, track list of songs, it could happen. But I thought it was a dope series. There's not even a cancelable take, but Dance Dance Revolution is the best dance game of all time. I don't give a shit. I'm an old head. I'm an old head on that part with the dance pad and all that shit. Dance is not. Just Dance ain't shit. Michael Jackson's The Experience ain't shit. All this other shit ain't shit. Dance Dance Revolution, the GOAT. I had one more. I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Double Dash is the best Mario Kart game. That was also my. Look, he's thinking. Oh shit, he's thinking. He's like, yo, are you sure? Are you sure? That's my opinion. I still think Double Dash is the best one, in my opinion.
I would say 8 is the best one, but I only say that because it has all of them.
It could also be because that's everything.
That's everything in. But I if you say, I'm not gonna disagree with you that Double Dash. It was definitely the most original one, and it to me is the most memorable one because you could play with 2 people, even though the second person really wasn't doing much. But like, it's still fun. It's still fun. Like, it's still a fun game. I agree with you. That game is super nuts. Nintendo doesn't like making money because they would have either remade it or they would have made it accessible via something.
Oh my goodness! An online co-op Double Dash. Listen, they don't want money. They don't want money. They must not want it because they just now in the past year and a half dropped the Pokemon MOBA. Let's not even do that, bro. They
don't want money. If they wanted money, we would be playing the new Mario Baseball right now. But they don't want money. We just got strikers. I'm happy that we got strikers. I'm happy you made it out. We just got it back. And we didn't even get it yet.
That's crazy.
When I have it in my hands, then I'll be like, thank you, Nintendo. But until then.
Nah, yeah, he's right. He's actually got a point. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. That's pretty much all the takes I have. I have more. I just haven't thought of any.
I can't think of any right now. Even today, when I saw it, I was like, I don't know what I can think of outside of just like, I hate gamers. I hate console wars, but like all the things that I don't think are cancelable.
It's a piece of plastic, y'all.
Yeah,
it's a piece of plastic.
Like, I don't think it's cancelable. Like, maybe no, I can't think of anything that I'm just like, yeah, everybody around me would disagree and be like, you're wrong for that.
Yeah. Nah, I think we got a couple in there. I think we got enough for the podcast.
For sure.
All right, but yeah, that's all I got on the notes today. That's all the takes. That's all the news. That's all the stuff we got. It's a pretty dry week, but we managed to turn out a good episode, I think. So yeah, any closing notes? Anything we might have missed from this past week, my friend? When?
Try to go play Gundam Evolution. That shit's gas.
Facts. If you still can, request access on the Steam page, man. Because I'm about to go cook some food, and after that, I'm getting right on it.
Yeah, I was gonna stream it after this, but I'm definitely just gonna play it on I'm literally gonna play this like in Discord or something, because I was gonna stream, but I'm like, I want to be able to rage in peace.
I might stream it because I literally have not streamed all week. I'm gonna be on tomorrow and probably Sunday, but still, it might be nice to at least stream for a little bit. I don't know. I gotta record some gameplay for this shit anyways.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Yeah. Any closing notes, Wayne, before we get on out of here?
And now drink some water and make sure you save up some money, because I feel like we're gonna see some big announcements coming soon.
On everything, man. Save it. Save your money up. Any missing news for me? Nah, not really. Just keep on doing what you're doing for all the people out there. You know what I'm saying? All my niggas in the struggle. All good, baby, baby. I don't know. The lyrics are just nah, but for real. Y'all have a great rest of your week. We're gonna have an episode of this. It's probably gonna be on on the channel probably either tonight or tomorrow, so check it out. Make sure you check out all social platforms, YouTube at Wotaku channel, WOTAKU channel, for when stuff. All the socials went easy for me, all socials and social pages and streaming pages. That man Tripp, you just look me up, make sure it's 2 P's in there like a Pokemon move, make sure it's all up there. And otherwise, man, listen, drink your water, tell people you love them, make sure you walk outside, get some sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Get your vitamins in there. And if you hold any of these takes against me, y'all don't shower. So make sure you go take a shower as well. So yeah, listen, we love y'all. No Cooldown episode 17. We are out of there. And that's a recording. Yeah. That is a recording. That's a solid one down, bro. Oh my gosh, it's only 4:00.
Yeah.
Oh heavens me. It's good. I was about to say, I might, I'm gonna take my own advice. I might walk outside after this, bro.
No, it's pretty nice out there. I need to start going back on walks. I need to start being more doing more exercise. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. I don't want to do. Well, it's not even that. I just need to find the time to again like keep my shit up. I'm like what 201 right now. I'm trying to get to 215 before like the end of May.
Yeah,
I just want to start cutting again before DreamCon. I'm trying to again. My goal is to be an IG thotty by summer. I'll stick to it.
I feel you.
Oh man, but yeah, that's what it is. Who do you want? You got the raid, so you can throw.
Yeah, I'm about to throw it to Mac. Speaking of Gundam, Mac, I believe has a code or like a creator or something. He's got something going on with them with those folks. So
he got codes dropping.
Yeah, something like that. So if you want to get access to it outside of just regularly asking for stuff, outside of regularly just going into Steam, I recommend asking him, or he might have like a command up or whatever. So
facts. Go tune in with Mac.
For sure.
Gameplay popping.
Yeah, and
he's the number one Gundam Evolution creator right now. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about say. I don't care about what, you know what I'm saying. Whoever says what. Congrats on the Grammy trip. Yo, I did. Yo, I have you saw me with the wig on too. Hey, also, if the Anderson Paak skin is still in Fortnite, I'm gonna go buy that one. That
is a clean ass skin, and the bundle brings the songs and all that. It's pretty nuts. Shout out to Fortnite, they're killing it.
Facts. But yeah, I see Mac. Yeah, Mac is live, man. Yeah, let's start the
ball. All right. You guys have a good one. Thank you guys for coming out. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
All right. And let me just.
All right.
Did it say? Yes, it did. All right, cool. I was like,
yeah, my shit is not loading for some fucking reason.